Hello, everybody. Welcome to Pod by Night, twitch.tv/Pod by Night. There's a whole new intro now. Our very first stream of a game on Twitch after doing 3 seasons, about year and a half worth of content as exclusive podcasts. And it feels good to be back in the Twitch driver's seat. Before we go any deeper than that, hi, I'm going to be your storyteller, Mike Martin. And today I'm joined by 4 lovely players, Diana, Bub, Josh, and Dot. Hey guys, what's up?
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello there.
We made it.
Feels
you for
weird to be back in the
right?
Twitch seat.
Yeah, we're also on camera, which is especially weird with the podcast group, but it's very exciting kind of feeling.
I feel
So that
like
I
it was
can wave.
wasteful not to have that before. Look at all you beautiful people.
Aw.
I
If they
Guess who
fall in
gets
love with
to
our
come back?
voices, they can't run after they see our faces, is really the hope.
Mhm.
So they can always stick to the
You're
podcast
already
format.
invested. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
it's too late. They've fallen in love with the characters no matter who portrays them behind the scenes. This is super exciting because this is Hunter the Reckoning, or Hunter V5 for World of Darkness, which I've only had a little bit of hands-on time with the rule book. It looks super fun. I love the theming around it. And we got a brand new guest to join us, obviously, and Diana. So Diana, obviously, welcome to the game. Where can people find you? What do you do? Like, where do you come from in the TTRPG world?
Boy, well, I was born in May. No. So I'm Diana DiMacco. I do a lot of stuff in the World of Darkness, actually. So I'm super stoked to be here. Most of the time, you can find me over on Play Renegade on the Renegade Games channel, actually running Vampire and Hunters. So it's nice to be on this, like the receiving end of all the torture for a change. But
You can
yeah,
ask the
I'm
players.
also
I don't torture. I'm not a torturer.
listen. I'm the marketing and communications director over at Die Hard Dice, so I sling dice throughout the day, and I'm one half of Barden Barbarian, so I make stuff there. And I'm just all over the place. I do a lot of stuff. Got my hands in a lot of pies.
And I'm super excited to have you on the show. It's going to be a fun little mini series. We also have a huge announcement, I think, don't we, Dot? You're muted though. You got it.
I'm over here clicking away, so I muted myself.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
do
yeah.
have a huge announcement, Mathis. We have a really exciting one, in fact. For those of you that have dreamed one day of a live Pod by Night show, boy howdy, have I got news for you. We are going to be at Gen Con 2022. The whole Stitch of Fate crew is going to be there live, including our dear friend Josh, which we're shipping all the way over
Yeah,
to
I'm
the
hopping the
States.
pond.
We're shipping him all the way over to the States. So we're excited to let you know tickets are on sale for that. So if anybody is wait, they say I'm muted. I'm gonna try that again, just to be on the safe side.
Okay.
Live.
I think.
No, did we
I
get
think
it?
you're good.
Oh no, it was
Oh,
the
yes,
announcement
perfect.
was the document.
Great question for all of you. So we've got a few things
Lag.
happening, right? Okay, great. Lag.
Yeah.
Ooh, I got really concerned with all of the tech problems I've had today. So good news is it will become available for everybody. We're going to try to do some kind of on-site recording so that there is a recording of it somewhere for all of you, but we really encourage you, if you're going to be at Gen Con, to come join us. It will be Friday night. It is a late night show. I believe it is 10 p.m. No, I'm so sorry. It goes to 10 p.m. to midnight. That's right. We have the late night slot on Gen Con TV. So guess what? Not only do you have to be there, but you're going to get to see us on their Twitch channel live and streamed from the main stage at Gen Con. So kind of just a little,
Oh, damn.
Past my bedtime.
Yeah, way past Josh's bedtime, but too bad. We're going to put him full of caffeine because he has to be there. He has to be there. But really what we're asking is for a little bit of help. As you can imagine, trying to ship Josh over and get us all together and to plan a meet and greet with all of you beforehand is a little extra than we're used to planning for. So we've actually set up a little Ko-Fi event to see if you want to help us make this happen. And even if you can't be there in person, if you can, buy a ticket. That's helpful for us because we get paid for that too. But you can go over here and I'm going to put it in chat. And for all of you at home listening to this, you can go to ko-fi, that's ko-fi.com/pod by night. And you'll see we have a little goal going. We'd love to meet that goal. It'll just, help cover getting the coterie all in one place, which we have longed for. So there you go.
And the truth is, right now as it stands, we're actually shipping Josh in a large crate, and
That's
we want to
right.
put more holes in there so he can breathe properly.
That's right.
So,
And each hole
if
costs
you-
$500.
Send them overseas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
have you seen that guy in Japan that wears that extremely realistic looking dog costume? He looks like a border collie.
Yeah.
Just get one for him. We'll put you in a crate. That way people won't know. I'll get you like
That means that a
veterinarian
border
peppers.
collie has to check themselves in for a flight.
No, I'll walk him in. I'll walk him in. Or have his mom
so
walk
you're
him
gonna
in.
fly
No,
out
no, have
there
his
to
mom
fly
walk
him.
in. Have his mom walk him in. I think that'll work.
This isn't a solid
You know
plan.
what, Josh, I'm not
throwing
gonna
it
lie.
out.
We're still taking ideas and tips.
Someone might be for this, so I'm sure this is someone's kink out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you remember
Don't
last
judge, I'm
time
right
we
the
were
fuck here.
recording? Last time I mentioned that I wasn't a furry.
Oh, right.
Pay, and that might change. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows what will happen?
Oh, perfect.
But there you go. You can go visit us. Give us, a little extra tip on the side from our usual run so that we can do something a little out of our usual. We'd really appreciate it.
It's gonna be super fun. I'm excited to put on a live show for the first time with the crew. So I'll have to actually like not wear sweatpants for the first time. DMing you
So,
guys.
yeah, you're gonna
in,
have-
No one's gonna
like,
judge
I was
you.
supposed to- yeah, live on
kinda
Gen
like-
Con TV.
Yeah, me in my what I'm currently wearing right now, my Santa Claus PJ pants. So right on time for that.
Yeah,
Who
you're
wears
really
pants when we're
in season.
recording? Come on.
I'm just trying to be a little presentable at the very least. All right. Well, for those of you who are used to the podcast, what we're going to be doing here is going to be kind of what we do when we record a podcast either way. We'll be recording for about an hour before we take a very small break and then going to our second episode. Today will be a little different. We're only going to have time for one episode, our intro episode. So, it'll be just like any other, ideally for you all, just any other Twitch stream of like a tabletop RPG. But for those who like to prefer podcasting, after this is all said and done, our magical editor Gnome, who I believe I saw him in there in our chat, will be taking our audio away and making magic, adding sound effects, music, and editing all the nonsense talk from in between out, because he is an absolute master of his skill. So yeah, don't worry, you'll still get that kind of audiobook quality type of experience if you are excited to go listen to it either a second time or maybe you're gonna wait. That's coming to you. But beyond that, yeah, we're going to be playing this like we would if this was just a normal Twitch stream. So if that's that, are we all ready to just dive in?
Oh man.
Yes.
I think so.
Let's do
I'm
it.
kind
My
of
body's ready.
excited. All right. Well, let's set the scene, rein things in, and see what our cell is up to. When the screen remains black, the sound that greets our ear is one that we've all come rather accustomed to. Distant sirens squealing in the background, almost drowned out completely by a sea of honking horns. As the camera pans up from what we can now see as the asphalt of a rather ill-taken care of road somewhere buried in a borough of New York, those sounds are drowned out by the sounds of shouting, muffled screaming, coming from the various brick apartments that line the street, side to side. Windows are boarded up. Others have trash bags pulled over them, and plenty of others are simply broken or spray painted. It isn't long before we hear the crackling of gravel under the weight of tires as a plain white van rolls into our view as our vision stays at ground level. It comes to a squeaking halt, not going particularly fast. We see 2 of the 3 brake lights are lit, the other one out for God knows how long. And as it comes to a slow stop and the large white van lurches forward, we hard cut. All the outside sounds become even more muffled as the tin of this van drowns out plenty others. Heavy footsteps and a mix of voices become clearer to us as the camera focuses first at a moving, rather large gentleman making his way to... What weapon would he have laying around, Bub?
Vic would probably use a baton. That's his go-to. Guns are a bit more finicky when in clumsier hands, but he likes for the mobility, and he's not trying to get everybody else hurt. Way more manageable with a baton.
We see a rather large hand zoomed in, grasp that baton and lift it off of wherever it's resting with a small scrape. And as the camera pans out further, we get a full view of this man with other figures passing in and out of the frame. What does Vic look like?
Vic doesn't really look like he belongs in most situations, particularly this. He probably belongs somewhere much closer to an Adidas commercial. He is, by all means, an athlete, and you can see he's cut head to toe. He's got almost swishy, like shoulder length hair, and it's very very much a poster child for athleticism. He's 6'4", 290 pounds, very fair skinned, but you can tell that he may not be the brightest in the room, but there's just a certain charisma about him. He just really brings it together.
As the camera settles on him for a moment and we get a good glimpse of his face, what age would people maybe put him around if one were to guess? How young does this man look?
Late 20s, early 30s. The physique has a way of aging you, but you can definitely tell that he carries himself like an older 20-year-old.
And as the camera again settles on him, we see him take that baton and slap it rather forcefully into his open palm. That slap echoes a bit as the camera will quickly turn to its left, catching the glimpse of some poster duct taped to the background, but it isn't able to catch it quite right away. As it zooms in, as it finishes turning, sitting up near a nearby kind of makeshift shelf. Diana, what does your character look like as we see the back of your head and it slowly pans to a profile shot of you, likely, I imagine, working on something?
Yes. So Jenny is about 5'4", 5'5". She's very petite. She's got on, khakis and a comfortable looking pair of ballet flats, a simple blue button down, and she's got a fanny pack that's sort of tucked to one side against her waist. She also has shoulder length, sort of swooshy brown hair, very much in a fashion that hasn't been updated since the 90s. But she's sort of mousy in her way. You probably wouldn't notice her unless there were only 4 people around.
Out of curiosity, as we get this profile shot of her sat down on this small stool hunched over a makeshift shelf, can we see a clear shot of what she's working on, or is that something our viewers and listeners can't quite see in the moment? We see her maybe reaching into some sort of pocket hunched near her waist, and you hear like the wrappings of tape and stuff, but can we see it yet, or is it still not quite visible?
You can probably looking at what she has in front of her. It's very much made up of detritus and almost garbage that you would really find. It sort of looks like a found art piece. You would notice that it contains some traces of just like dust inside of it. It looks like it has a hinged mechanism. You can't really tell what it's for, though.
I like to imagine as we get that glance and the camera begins to pan away, we see just the back of her head and she pulls out a long like string of hair, pulls it to the side and just kind of drops it on the ground, just pulled out of whatever it is she's putting together, a clump or a hairball. But our attention is pulled once more, not by the sight of somebody, by the recognizable and almost cliche sound of the cocking of a gun. As we whip around, we see a man in all black, standing there with a pistol in hand, double checking to make sure it's clean and loaded. What do you look like, Josh?
Father McGinnis looks rather stern but calm as he's checking over his pistol. He's dressed in the garb of a father of the Catholic Church. So all black, flat collar, a small little dog collar, white cube just below his Adam's apple, and he is probably mid-40s, although the large badgery beard and short cropped hair it makes it difficult to tell exactly how old he is. But he is wearing a small pair of spectacles, just thin gold rims around them. And he's just kind of ritualistically checking over this pistol in one hand and waiting for the others to be ready.
As he's looking over the pistol and clearly less put together than the past 2 that we've just seen, a little dirtier looking, a little more haggard looking, do we hear the father as he's finishing and his pistol is clearly loaded and is in perfect operating order? Do we hear him muttering a prayer over it, or is he not one for prayer?
He is, but he wouldn't pray over a gun.
Okay.
That seems unlikely. He is, however, muttering prayers for the others.
As the final check of the pistol is put forward, where does he keep his gun on his person amongst his priestly garb?
I think he keeps it in a Bible.
Oh, nice. So, like, is it have sacrilege, sacrosanct, where you've hollowed it out?
He's certainly he feels pretty bad about it, but not as bad as he does when monsters kill people.
A necessary step, understood. But before any words can be poured forward, and we get one more kind of panning look of the prior three. It's the sound of echoing light steps moving their way from the driver's seat into the back of the van that we focus on our final cellmate. One who has seemingly a tablet or something in their possession, going over what the others can't see, but we, the viewers, can see, clarifying that this address is exactly the right one that she was given in her information. Dom, as you walk into focus, what does your character look like?
Kind of a petite, quaint, late woman in her late 20s, mid to late 20s. She is a bit understated and hides the majority of her body under like an oversized hoodie and big glasses and gloves. And in fact, she is tapping away on some kind of tablet that has a GPS tracker or locator. And her kind of quaint voice goes, wait, we can't go yet. I haven't booted up Ada. And she turns around and pulls out the drone that she has because she does not combat. Ada does all that for her, and mounted to the top of this drone, of course, is a weapon, a gun. And she pulls out like a built out of spare parts from Radio Shack, this kind of RCA car type controller to like control this drone. As she starts to get it all kind of pieced together.
The four blades at each corner of the drone begin to whir up with that ever so noticeable sound of almost like really fast spinning computer fans as this thing slowly lifts off of the ground as she puts it down, and it begins to hover around. And those are the first words spoken, a hurried voice saying, no, we can't wait, we can't leave yet. Does anybody immediately respond? The closest one as you walk in would obviously be Vic, as he's been up and about and grabbing his things ready, the father being nearby while Jenny in the background finishes working on what she's working on.
I could use another minute too.
I'm good. I'm good. Well, not trying to rain on anybody's parade, but we got to get moving. We got to beat feet.
You have to take them by surprise.
Right. Well, I thought maybe we'd want to go over the map and just make sure that we have all the exits covered or something, of the building. I could try to pull up like a layout or a blueprint or, maybe go into some of City Hall's records. We don't have to go in. Time. Okay.
Have to come
I'll take a look
over
it. It'll help. I mean, I don't, Father, forgive me, but it's really hard to take him by surprise when you're sending Tall Drink in with a luchador mask on, don't you think? Not much of a surprise.
It will be a surprise when we kick the door down.
I'm already surprised. Okay.
All right.
Let me just try to and I pull out like a small crypto deck. I imagine it's like strapped to my arm or something. I've like velcroed it on. It's super not high tech, but I think it is. And can I, Mathis, try to pull up some kind of map for this building?
So your options would be one of two things. You could attempt, obviously, to pull up any public city blueprint of the block and whatnot, which wouldn't give you any particular details of this particular building that you're kind of sat out in front of. Again, one of countless faceless brick buildings that all seem to look exactly the same. If you were looking for more detailed blueprints on this building in particular, you would need to roll a computer's technology check or an intelligence technology check or computers check with four successes rolled.
Okay.
You're trying to break into something you're trying to hack into something very, very quickly,
and
as opposed to spending time
hacker.
and hours on trying to break it down. So you would be able to add a +1, as that is your specialty. But what is your total pool
it will
in
be
this moment?
8 plus
if you were
1,
to...
so 9.
So a little under 50-50 shot.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 chance.
I mean, a little over 50-50 shot, rather.
Okay.
What is do you have anything in terms of beyond your desperation pool? Obviously, you could pull into.
Let me see, because if I use
or anything
the
in edge,
van,
but your edges are drone focused, right?
but not the. I have two. I have the drone, and I have global access. I have global access. That's
What
my
does that
other
give you?
edge, which provides me. I'm gonna pull it. I'm staring
Yeah,
at it
let's
right
look
now.
at the
Conventional
rules.
weapons. Yes. Yay, yay rules. It gives me, I believe, like some kind of specialty access into like the back end of the World Wide Web, which is not at all technical. Let me actually. Here we go. Global access. So
Does it-
I now
yeah.
get. By spending the equivalent of a scene and succeeding on an edge test at a difficulty 4, the hunter can gain access to any kind of data on any subject or person in any conceivable system, ranging from surveillance to law enforcement.
The cost is it's a scene.
Yeah, it takes
so
me
it
a
would take
while.
time.
Okay, I look at it and go, okay, so I don't
Yeah.
really have time to like, unless we want to take the time. If not, then it's going to be a gamble as to whether or not I can pull it up.
And just to put forward, if you critical fail or bestial, you could flag something in the system and be tracked.
And not
depending
to
on
make you worry or anything, but most everything digitally can be tracked. That includes us. So, if it doesn't go well for me, blip.
Maybe
Blip.
this one we just go in on foot then. It's
Oh, Ada can go. We could scope the windows. There is a
your
camera.
robot?
My drone. Ada is a drone.
What's the difference?
I don't know that we have time
This one can fly.
for that. Okay. There's other
it's a floor, okay.
differences. Okay, fine. You know what? Here,
I mean,
look.
that's good enough for me. It's really okay.
Can I like
Jenny, thank you for asking that question. I didn't know the difference either.
I
a
don't
drone.
really
It's
think we
not
got the full answer yet, but
a robot. They're not the
it's
same
beautiful,
thing.
sweetie. You did such a good job on the gun mount, and
I know it's one of a kind.
paint
Okay,
is-
everybody stay low. I'll just send Ada in first. We'll get a peek in the window, and then you can go in guns a blazing or whatever.
Man, I'm pretty sneaky. I can try to hop around too.
you are not sneaky, Vic.
Oh no, I've always been told I'm real light on my feet.
Sweetie, you know how everyone has different talents, and we should really just let other people. I feel like maybe the robot would be better for this particular job.
drone.
You're wonderful, but
The Lord bless
I
in
need you
different
to
ways.
stay back here and keep me safe. And
Oh yeah,
we
okay,
just
yeah. No, okay, yeah. I got you. But hey, if you ever wondered why you ain't ever heard me, there's a reason. Light on my feet. It's like twinkle toes.
that's a cute nickname.
I don't know. Name. All right, let's go. We need to move.
And I'm gonna move the drone. Like I'd like to kind of scope the building, entrances, exits, and if there is a window that is not covered, I'd like maybe to peer in.
Yeah. Two questions for you before I move forward with the description. Do you have any? Do you have any edge abilities, particularly for using a drone?
Yes, I have very special edge abilities for using this drone.
Yeah. So what are
yeah.
your abilities enabled to do?
So I took the drone job.
While you look. Okay, go ahead.
And it gives me this one in this case. You just basically get complicated decision trees need a successful resolve to test any skill used while in this mode. Use a flat pool of 5 dice rather than the hunter's wits technology. So it's a flat 5 when using the drone. So to roll for it, and then I have the special armament, which is the gun itself, not necessarily anything to do with a camera. So I would just get the flat 5 pool.
And what's your usual pool instead of using a 5 die? What's your normal pool? It's wits tech. Okay.
It's
what's your
wits tech,
what's your pool
so,
for wits tech out of curiosity?
7.
So it's better for you to use wits tech than to use that.
It would be better in the long term. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Or or you come across something that removes dice from your pool or what have you. Okay, I got you. Cool. Well, on that, thanks for Gnome, by the way. Thank you for editing that part out.
Yes, thank you. Gnome.
As the kind of conversation comes to a lull, we hear the grinding of a metal door on a van roll open. That as it rolls open before it slams on the other side. The whirring of the blades on the drone become more distant and quiet as it flies out the side of the van and off to your peripheral where you can no longer see it before the door, I imagine, rolls shut and clacks solidly. You have a camera to look at this thing, I imagine, and as you're peering through a little screen on your controller, yeah. What kind of position does Ada control this thing in? Does she like to sit down, kind of like relax? Is she kind of a stand or hover? Like,
oh no,
how
I
does,
imagine I'm in
your
the
character
van,
look?
and hopefully everybody's hovering around because I imagine the controller has the screen on it, right? So we all have to look at this
Yes.
tiny little screen on this single controller as I'm like, bzzz, trying to fly it, and we're probably all huddled in this tiny van to top it off.
As you're looking at the screen, almost to anybody other than Nero, this would be nearly impossible. The screen is monocolored, varying shades of gray and this off blue, and the screen itself seems to freeze every few seconds and pixelates before it kicks back on, meaning Nero has to kind of understand what's ahead of her, knowing when the screen is going to to freeze up every so often. She seems completely in the zone, absolutely having zero issues navigating it. But for the three of you, if you wish to try and even follow along on this thing, it would require an immense amount of effort of just practice using this basically busted screen that Nero's been using for God knows how long. If anybody has anything to say, you're welcome to say it here, or I will continue. Okay, didn't know if any characters wanted to butt in and
so
say anything to
cool.
Nero.
I whisper to him, this is so cool, as I'm like, bzz, trying to fly it or whatever.
It's funny she says that because she's been doing this for about a year now, and every single time she does it, she's like infatuated with the drone flying. Nero, as the drone hovers on the outside, you bring it up. You are told 4th floor of this 7th-floor apartment building. And as you bring it up to the 4th floor and you start checking all the way around the windows, you begin to realize each one is seemingly covered or boarded up in some way. You have one that's been completely shut with some sort of interior blind pulled down. Another one has a black trash bag yanked over the inside of it. It isn't until the very last one that the wind seems to catch the plastic trash bag of this final window. And in the bottom corner seems to have been torn just enough where while you can't get a good visual in there, you're confident maybe you could maneuver the drone on the inside. Though it is risky, you do know that this is the floor that your targets are supposed to be on. But if they're not in this room, it could give you a good layout, even if they catch wind of this thing at some point.
Ooh, I found a way in. Look. Tiny hole in window.
As she lifts up her controller, you can see that blue screen, what seems to be it's really hard to see because the billowing trash bag is crunching the bit rate so badly, but you can actually see what seems to be an abyss or a void in the corner of the crunchy bit rate where maybe that's what she's pointing at.
Should I proceed inside the perimeter?
Glasses.
Is that permission?
Yeah, should I go in? Oh, you go in.
Go get them, boys. You can do it.
Hey, Father, you ready?
I'm always ready, son.
All right, well, let's go.
Cool.
Let's
I'm going to stay here. Drone. Cool, yeah, okay.
See what you can find.
Okay. I'll
So
be
is
on
the plan
comms.
to keep the drone?
I put a headset on and then maybe hand them like walkie-talkies, like old school, like not cool or very high tech at all, but I hand everybody walkie-talkies, so we can stay in contact. Can you hear me?
Oh my
As
God,
she's,
I
like,
love
presses-
this. This is like Monster Squad.
Right.
I love this movie.
Yeah.
This is so good. Oh,
We're
As she
all in the
presses-
same space. Maybe why don't we all go outside of the van and then we can test the walkie-talkies because we're going to be able to hear each other right now since I'm looking at you. That might be
Cool.
prudent. Come on, everybody. Come on.
As Jenny wanders over, she opens the side door very politely in a mom-like fashion. It doesn't grind nearly as much, and it gently sits and rests on its fully open kind of position. And we see Vic take a large step out first, followed by Father. Does Jenny follow, or is she staying in the van as well, or is she going in with them?
Jenny follows, but she has a little trouble sort of getting out of the van because she has the walkie-talkie in one hand and this weird box contraption that she was working on in the other. So she kind of like looks at her hands and then looks down and does like that weird little like hop that you would do if your hands were full. And she sort of shuffles after
As you
the
hop
father
down,
and
we
Vic.
can hear the gravel kind of just under your feet as you don't land completely solid right away, but you don't fall or anything. And as you step out of the van, Nero on the inside just rolls it, slams the door shut. And do you test the walkie-talkies?
oh yeah.
Neuro or whoever wants to
Oh,
test
yeah.
it.
Yeah, as soon as I get out, I'm like, this is Nero. I mean, a code name. I mean, not a code name. My other Nero. I'll just go with Nero.
All right, I need one of you to roll me a 1d3. 2, 3. Anybody? And I know it's not a proper dice, so just roll me a 1d3. All right, Vic, your mic is not. Your walkie-talkie is not working. But the others, in the others, as she speaks, you can hear, and her voice comes out. Anybody within like a 10-foot radius could clearly hear it. But Vic's, all it does is.
Always the unlucky one, man. The text broke.
Stay by me, son. We will keep you safe and in communication.
Well, hopefully we won't get separated, right? Because that wouldn't work well. I don't think.
Exactly. We have to watch each other's backs.
As the three of you are kind of lingering on the outside, there are people walking around in the distance, but a middle-aged man who looks about as well taken care of as Father McGinnis here, with a gray, salt and pepper, scraggly beard, but his hair even less clean than Father McGinnis's, wearing loose-fitting sweatpants and a hole torn in like a white T-shirt with no particular logo. Seems to be walking past you before there's a quick double take, and he meanders over. Father. Oh, bless me, I've sinned. Something. I need money for a place to sleep tonight, please. And he just like looks to you with his hands kind of clasped together. And as he makes eye contact with you for a minute, he kind of just does this, and just kind of sees where you react before eventually settling on this. I've done horrible things. I smoked weed. I bullied.
Tell me of your sins, my child, and I shall absolve you.
And he actually will kind of start rambling off his sins and completely ignoring the two next to him.
Is the father does he look comfortable with this interaction, or does he look like he's just putting up with it?
He looks very comfortable with this. He's definitely like locking eyes with this guy, trying to size him up, but also seeing if he actually needs absolution or something.
You are welcome to make me a what do you call it? A wits. What's the
like insight or something?
Wits insight. That's what I'm looking for.
Jenny's gonna kind of just like,
all of you, if you want to, you're welcome to make a wits insight.
Oh no, she's just gonna shepherd Vic away because she wants nothing to do with this interaction.
It's very. Father McGinnis, you've been doing this for a long time. Even before you took on the new sacred oaths, you looked after people who needed looking after. And this man, while certainly wears and seems like he would need to take care of himself, he's clearly simply after the money.
I tell him where my church is. Son, there is a soup kitchen if you need help. And here,
as soon as you say that, and while you even say "in here," you watch his hands fall by his side, and his eyes immediately look away from you, and he just continues walking down the sidewalk.
Another lost soul. I cannot help them.
Jenny and Vic, you hear
he
this.
Crosses himself.
As Father begins to walk up behind you, you just hear him mutter to himself, "Another lost soul," as he wanders up. And the two of you, are you going to the front door? Or where are the two of you heading? There are fire escapes you could attempt to climb with some effort, but there's also the front door that in a building like this is likely unlocked, or if it is locked, not securely.
Why'd you pull me away from that? It's one of my favorite things. I love listening to it. It's the shill, right? Like
it just seemed like kind of a private conversation, and it's not very nice to eavesdrop.
Eavesdropping. Father's carrying a gun and a Bible. This is great.
How he worships his God is completely up to him, and it's not for us to judge. It's just really, it wasn't our place to be there for that. So, do we ring the doorbell, or
as Jenny approaches and points like at the door, do we ring the doorbell? A lot of the sound is being replaced by that heavy vibrating rhythmic beat that is coming from somewhere within this apartment building. You can see hear the door in front of you very gently rattling against its frame from the base, just pulsating throughout the bottom of the building. And so Father approaches at this moment as well. At that point, you hear Father Jenny point out, "Are we going to ring the doorbell or?"
Can I have pushed the groan forward while they had this minor interaction,
Do you
like
wanna-
into the building, so I could scope ahead for them?
Yeah. So do you want to enter through that simple little hole
Yeah.
in the 4th floor? Or do you want to look for a separate entrance and a separate window on a separate floor?
Oh, that's a good question. The what we are seeking is on the 4th floor. We've been
Correct.
told.
What you're expecting to find is on the 4th floor.
Yeah, the drone may give it away. Maybe I'll go up a floor and try to come in through like a hallway window or something.
Give me because you're making a quick look here, a wits investigation, or a wits awareness, rather.
Okay, no extra dice to that. I got 2
Two
successes.
successes. You are able to find a window that is not covered. However, the bottom half is completely shattered. A lot easier to move your drone in than the small corner that was torn away, but still a little bit of a challenge to do so. I will need a wits technology roll to pilot this thing in. It will come at the because it's difficult. You will lose one die success off this roll.
Okay.
You could still gain way more than if you went with the drone piloting, though.
So I got
Ooh,
5
baby,
successes.
that's 5 successes with ease. As the camera sits at the base of the front door, and we see Father McGinnis from a profile shot approach the group, and there seems to be about to have conversation. We sweepingly pan up 5 stories, hanging on the outside. Now the distant horns. We retaking our audio, and we see the drone hovering from window to window until it approaches one where we're able to see that broken shot. And this drone with ease tilts to the left ever so slightly and flies right into what is a bathroom, completely missing its sink, ripped off of the wall, and a tub that has been shattered, the porcelain broken in on one of the corners. The floor, as you look around, is grimy, and you see a few empty beer bottles just leaned up against and tousled around.
As I guess they approach the door, and
What is your
and they say that I come through and I go, Ada has bridged the perimeter. It is very clear to me that
So at
these
the
people
front
do not care about hygiene.
Can I get a wits awareness from the 3 of you who are currently at the front door dealing with a that's like a thumping beat in front of you? Man, it's fun to play with people who have no superpowers. Okay, you got a 2, Jenny. We got a 2 from Vic, and we got a 1 from Father McGinnis.
Mine was a crit if that matters.
It does matter for you because you will be able to hear it then, Jenny. You actually can hear just barely, not the words that she's saying, but you hear the loud crackling of Vic's broken walkie-talkie wherever, if it's still holding onto it or one of you are holding onto it. You can just barely hear that. Like eventually kind of shoots over the vibrating bass because Nero is staying relatively quiet in her voice.
Would Vic have kept the radio or handed it off when he realized it didn't work?
He probably would have tossed it back in the van if he had an opportunity to.
Interesting. You could have, but you didn't say you did. So I imagine it's amongst the 3 of you somewhere.
Jenny's probably.
I'd say maybe in the fanny pack of Jenny, as I imagine.
Okay, fair.
So that'd be why you could probably hear it even more so. You can hear it coming right from your fanny pack.
She's gonna just turn it down and click until
It turns off. But you are aware that seems Neuro is at least trying to contact you.
I wonder if she's wondering where we are. Do you, Neuro, sweetie?
You can hear him, Neuro, no problem.
Yes, loud and clear.
Now that you have it to your ear, Jenny, you can hear her.
Did you just say something?
Yes, loud and clear.
No, before that.
Oh, yes, Ada has bridged the perimeter. These people care not for hygiene.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for the update. Jenny's just going to kind of reach down and pull out her little travel hand sanitizer and like shake it up and get it ready to go.
You hear the glopping.
Yeah.
Is the
How
rest
are you
of the
breaching this front door?
I was about to say, is the rest of the 5th floor clear? Like, can I see anything else? I wanted to give him a heads up.
Yeah. Oh, sure. So we'll do you're going to do a very quick then wits awareness sweep of the small, like 2-room total, like a kitchen and a bedroom and a bathroom apartment in New York.
I just got a single
with
success.
Do you want to use any willpower and reroll? You could reroll 3 of them.
Yeah, why not? This is how this game works. Another
It
success.
does. So you get 2 successes. So with 2 successes through a quick sweep, not only is there nobody apparently on this 5th floor, it's used as a habitual, you would consider party location. You just see a lot of empty beer cans and bottles, maybe a used needle here and there. But there's no bodies on this floor.
Okay,
I'm imagining your drone is not outfitted with like heat detection or anything. Like
no,
that.
the van is, but the drone is not.
Sure,
and so I just report back.
fair,
I go,
fair.
it looks like the 5th floor is clear. I thought I'd meet you on the 4th floor.
Jenny would hear that, obviously.
That's the idea. Over.
Over.
Okay, over.
And when we hear the final over, the camera once again flies to the front of the building where Father and Vic are probably debating how best to enter the front door.
I start by trying the handle.
As you reach for the handle, a very simple metallic handle on a plain old wooden door, it wobbles, but it's locked. Like it doesn't turn all the way. But it's rather loose.
I mean, I can try. I can try.
Yeah,
If
Vic
you
could
are
make an
as strong
attempt.
as you are stealthy, I believe you can get through this.
That would be a strength brawl check. Very simple.
Could I
Rouse the
is
blood.
it locked?
Is it locked? Well, yeah. If Vic is like, is it locked? Like after Father McGinnis like jiggled the handle, we see Vic reach forward, his big hand completely encompassing that like rusted handle, and as you turn it, it jiggles, but it is locked.
Could I use larceny here to try to?
Dex,
try
it
to
would
get
be
in?
a Dex larceny check.
Sure. Yeah. I'm not trying to immediately tear the handle off the wall.
Well, Vic is working on that. If Jenny notices that it's locked, she's going to start rifling around in her fanny pack and try and fashion like a skeleton key kind of thing.
Okay, I like that, or like a makeshift like lockpick or something. So you have make a craft roll for me as you start putting something together rather quickly.
I'm going to use my edge.
Ooh, and how does it work for those who aren't aware?
Yeah, so I took the Edge improvised gear, which basically means that no matter where I am, with the perks that I took with it, I can build like a little tool for whatever situation best
I love
fits.
that.
So my Edge pool for that is intelligence and craft.
Awesome.
I'm guessing that roll didn't go well based on the facial
No,
expression.
it
that
went
just happened here.
exceptionally well.
Exceptionally well.
Wow.
Not a single failure in his entire pool.
Wow.
Ridiculous.
Okay. Well, I succeeded on making my key. If anyone cares.
I mean, you're welcome to does it tell you what kind of bonuses it gives, or is it simply up to the storyteller / player?
Yeah. So, hold please. The hunter is able to
Gotta love
devise
new
any number of
rules.
useful short-lived
Yeah.
tools to aid them in their comrades.
It's still better than when we first got V5 rules for vampire.
Yeah,
It's like,
Single skill provided a 2. Okay, so it's a 2 dice advantage on whatever I try and do with that key.
okay, can other people use it, or is it just limited to your
It is
usage?
not limited to just me.
Cool.
I made the tool. I can hand it off to whoever I want.
I would allow you to have made that before Vic attempted it, especially if you were aware it was locked, and I would have allowed Vic to roll 2 more dice, just an additional 2 dice to that roll
Nice.
that he made.
I want to believe that Vic is going to use the skeleton key in a way that it is not supposed to be used.
Nice.
Like he just
so-
wedges it in the door and like tries to crowbar it open or something.
I'll let Vic describe how he ends up using it as, and I'm curious even to Jenny how you see this thing visually, what it looks like. But to give you an idea, Vic rolled a total of 7 successes on this thing with the addition of your skeleton key. So yeah, what does this thing look like?
So I think this probably looks like Jenny probably has like a set of reusable silverware in her fanny pack. So she would have
Oh, I
pulled
love
that
it.
out and immediately taken the what's the like the end of the spork that is the knife end.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the
knife
little
end of my
serrated
fork.
side.
Yeah, and I probably would have taken just a little bit of chewing gum or something and put it on the edge. There's probably a bobby pin that's been wedged in there just to give it a little bit of something extra. It looks like garbage is what it looks like.
It does.
It straight up just looks like trash.
And as it's handed to Vic, I don't know.
I hand
what-
you used gum.
Yeah. And tells you to use it as you're about to drop to a knee and start picking this thing.
Got a year of figuring out that her trash is the most exceptional garbage I've ever received, so I'm going to use it with confidence.
And And you watch as do you simply like slip it into where the lock would be or the side and wiggle it a little bit? We see him kind of twist it a bit, not forcefully. This man has an incredibly delicate touch. The way he moves his fingers is ginger, and it just doesn't fit a man that presents himself such as he does. And with just a couple of seconds of messing with that gumwad spork bobby clip contraption, you hear an audible, only Vic can hear, just an audible quiet click over the vibrating rhythm of the music. And the door itself kind of by itself creaks open, having clearly not sitting on its hinges properly, and all slowly begins to swing open. And Father and Jenny both see. He stands up as the door opens just a crick, whatever that means.
Good job, Vic. That was great.
Thanks. Thank you for your doohickey. It was wet for some reason. I don't understand. But hey, Father, you didn't see anything, right? Like I'll confess my B&E experience in the past. Another time.
It's acceptable under the circumstances.
Oh. Mom, look. Dad said it's okay for breaking and entering. This is new grounds we're breaking here.
I cannot give you blanket permission for these things.
Well, you just did. I heard it.
Yeah, you can't go back now. Mom heard it.
We should go. We'll talk about this later at dinner.
It's gotten really quiet over comms. Are y'all dead yet?
As the
Still
voice
at
of
the door.
Nero kind of interrupts for a moment, the camera actually zooms up 4 floors. And Nero, as your drone is coming down the first flight of stairs, and you see the door into the apartment you're looking to enter. The door itself, compared to the door of the 5th floor apartment and what you might imagine is the rest, looks much better taken care of than the rest. It doesn't seem like it's like off its hinges too much. It doesn't look like that it maybe has been beaten down. There's a couple of scuff marks across it, of course. It's not pristine by any stretch, but it's much more well taken care of. And so Nero's voice kicks in and says, "It's gotten quiet. Hello?"
You're not
Does
dead, are
anybody
you?
respond?
Hello, over.
Oh, over.
It's gonna be tired.
Oh, I was getting worried. I have arrived at the destination.
Well, give us a minute. We're still at the door. We can't all fly, Neuro.
I know. Okay, I'll just stay here, holding position. Over.
Man, I love how excited she gets. It just like it amps me up. And you see Vic, like at this point, he kind of reaches into his pocket and he pulls out his luchador mask and starts flenching it over his head.
Should we be at all concerned that the batteries on her RC thing are going to wear out? Because when my kids had theirs, the batteries only lasted like 20 minutes. So we should hurry, right?
Mostly just concerned that
I
they're
have
going to
some
hear that.
spares, but
She might get bored if it runs out of batteries.
well, I wouldn't want her toy to break. Should we take the stairs? It's good for your health.
As you suggest taking the stairs, and perhaps the 3 of you take your first step in to the foyer of this small apartment building, you realize the stairs are your only option. There is no elevator here, and that's it. You're on as you walk in, the tile floor beneath you was probably once white, if there wasn't so many stains of either alcohol or blood, maybe both, covering different spattered spots. It's hard to tell on a quick glance, but it's very obvious now that you're inside that this music is coming from this first floor of the apartment down that hall to your left.
Allow Nero's excitement to bolster you, friends. We are about to face evil.
Everybody do your best.
Yeah, I'm
That's what
probably
I
going to
said.
spear someone out a window, and I might suplex him. I'm not sure yet. It just depends on what my blood really is telling me to do.
I get my gun out of my Bible.
Yeah, we see Father reach for his Bible, opens up to his favorite passage, pulls out a pistol, and clamps it the book closed before putting it away. Do you check again just to make sure a round is chambered?
Always.
As he pulls it open, there's a round sitting there, and he lets it go with a satisfying clack. Who takes point heading up these stairs?
Vic probably will, is my guess.
So with an eager step, we hear the creaking of old wooden stairs under a heavy step, And Vic immediately starts marching his way with, I imagine, a bit of pep up the first flight.
Jenny is immediately behind him with her little contraption at the ready.
As she, how close behind him would Jenny stay? Would she stay very close to him? I'm curious.
Very close. Like if he stops, she's going to run into him and probably fall down.
And then finally watching the rear is father. And how much distance do you keep?
He keeps like a person and a half's distance. He's very measured, very upright, straight walking as he ascends the stairs behind them. Just like watching over them, basically.
Of course. The lighting in here is poor. It's got a dim orange glow cast through many different shadows, as there's only a few light bulbs that seem to actually properly work as you're marching up the first floor and then past the second floor. And it's on that second floor that you hear footsteps coming the opposite direction, clapping down the stairs at I wouldn't say like a hurried pace, but you know, that person who just uses the momentum of the downward angle to make their way down. As they round the corner of the third floor to meet you on the second floor, it's a younger woman, maybe somewhere in her 20s, as she pulls a jacket over herself, a windbreaker jacket, as the crisp fall air is starting to settle outside. And she throws her hair up in a quick ponytail, sees the three of you, makes eye contact with each of you, though no giving any immediate motion or whatnot, and seems to simply try to skirt by you as fast as she can.
Good evening.
If you even say any word to her and good evening, she'll look to you and she'll give you that common smile and nod. She just kind of gives you a smile, and she just looks to squeeze past.
Is there anything weird about her? Just a vibe check
you can
there?
give me. You're all welcome to give me a wits awareness if you want to make.
I mean, the obvious. She just saw a giant luchador walk past her, and she didn't even flinch. She's clearly a vampire.
I want to know
New
what
York,
your
baby.
mask looks like.
Oh, it's ridiculous. It's like flaming red with like these giant dragon-like eyes that whip up on the front. It does
I wouldn't
reveal
talk to you either. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
yeah, I mean, tell me how many successes if you are making a wits awareness to see if you catch anything weird about her expression or what have you.
one with a crit.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. What about the two of you? Unless you're not rolling. Okay, one for a dear old Vic.
Oh no. Okay. I lost a die forever. Sorry, guys.
R.I.P. And two for Father McGinnis. Father McGinnis, yeah, you too, for sure. And with the one success, but being a crit success, I'll just simply say when she clearly meets the eyes of Vic, she absolutely looks concerned, maybe confused, but tries to push by silently anyway. Vic doesn't notice.
Just let it happen then.
Yep. All right. Then you let it go. Goodbye. And off you go. Up, rounding the second stairs. And by the time you reach the third floor, you can hear the bottom floor door open and shut behind the woman who had just went down the stairs. And it's at the third floor. You can hear the distant humming of a familiar drone. Rounding the corner to the fourth floor, sat up there kind of like hovering around the fourth floor apartment door is Ada.
We can hear your robot now. Over. Your flying robot. It's whatever it is. We can hear it now. I'm not going to give it a name. Nope, I didn't name the dishwasher. I'm not naming this thing.
Yeah, just like, yeah, and every time you've tried it, all you see is the lens. Dot, you've been.
There we go.
Muted.
Sorry, y'all. I muted you so I wasn't coughing in your ears. There we go.
Okay.
I said the drone is kind of peeping at the through the peephole.
So as you round the corner and you see the drone kind of hovering in front of the peephole, accomplishing nothing practical for Neuro, doesn't stop her from trying. What is the next step at this point?
Does Ada have like is there a visible camera on the front of it? Is there anything
imagine-
that
It's almost
identifies?
GoPro-y.
Yeah, this has totally been rigged together between the help of Jenny and Nero's technology knowledge.
Yeah, Ada is the drone, chat. Ada is the drone.
Yeah, and
Probably-
today we're calling her, what did I call her? The auto drone aircraft or something like that.
There you go.
Probably since I'm like the first step and I'm seeing this, I'll likely like it's that pitch thought, right? Like knee jerk reaction, because that's very much what Vic does. He's like, Oh, hey, Nero, can you hear me? Can you? And like he's tapping on
For
Beta.
a minute, Nero, you can hear him obviously through your drone's own microphone, but you see on your screen a dumb big face from the nose backwards
Your
in that kind of cone shape, and then he's just like,
Tell Vic to
Hello?
keep his fingers to
you hear
himself. He's smudging the screen.
and I was gonna say you're getting
Vic,
fingerprint
honey.
smudges.
Honey, just
Huh?
put it down. I'm gonna like put
Oh.
my hand on his
Okay.
forearm and just
We see Jenny kind of
Hey,
tippy toe up to make sure she grabs the forearm and pulls this
Hey.
arm down.
Nero, I just had this idea. I got to get it out before I get into action. I've been working on this Smoothie King deal, and with your airbot thing, can you get like some aerial shots with like me running? I've been working on my
Vic,
last.
this is
Stay-
not the time.
I can't
Stay
hear
focused.
I need to make a roll
Oh.
real quick.
Oh, okay. Well, we tried.
But what we should let Nero know is that a woman has come down and she looked slightly suspicious.
And as you say, she looks slightly suspicious. The three of you can hear what sounds like deadbolts unlocking on the 4th floor door in front of you. And you have maybe a couple seconds to respond before the door itself opens.
Gotta go by.
What's happening?
I-
Wait, no! I imagine the drone's like now spinning in circles. Like, wait.
And as the door opens a crack, you see a metal chain holding the door on the inside from opening all the way. And you see a 5 o'clock shadow on this sunken-eyed man peering on the outside through the crack. And as he sees, I imagine he catches Vic, maybe only Vic, if he's like that close to the door, if he was in front of the drone. He just sees this giant man in front of him. Let me make a roll real quick to see if maybe he gets peep of anything else behind you. And he looks kind of around you, but before anything, he looks to you and he's like, hey, can I fucking help you guys out here? If you're looking for Juan, he's down 2 floors.
I'm looking for is there a Miss Ariel? I got a late night gig, and I start like kind of pulling down the buttons like to show a little chest. It's
How-
not, it's
Why is Vic
How
taking
wide
his
is the
clothes
gap?
off?
We'll say probably like 2 to 3 inches wide. I think like that, just enough for you to be able to see his like one eye and a little bit of his face.
Is it enough for me to get the thing through the door?
You could definitely make a dex. Yeah, it would be big enough. You'd have to make a dex. What do you call it? I guess it would be whatever ranged is. No, dex athletics. It'd be like a dex.
Desk. Okay, I'm good with that. Then I would like to try and toss that through the gap in the door and give Vic just a gentle nudge forward as he starts undressing himself.
unless you're Ariel. You don't look like an Ariel to me. But hey,
So go ahead and make me that roll.
Okay.
Go for it. Make me
wherever
that
this
roll.
music and TD goes, sometimes the clothes come off. I'm getting paid well for this. Please don't judge. I'm trying to put my my lady through law school.
That's 6 successes.
As you finish that, and he's about to, he simply looks at you. He's like, "You've got the wrong place." And I don't know of any Ariel that lives here. We hear what's this mostly made out of? Like, what kind of noises would we hear as it hits the ground of like what we'd imagine a really cheap plastic tile floor on the other side?
Well, so it sounds like really cheap plastic on really cheap plastic. Basically, it sounds like a kid dropping an old play school toy, essentially.
Even though he could probably hear the drone behind him, this all happens in the matter of 1 or 2 seconds. As the plastic hits, his attention is immediately broken from you, and he looks down. Now, you said, Jenny, you're kind of pushing on him after you throw it. Are you like
just
urging him to do anything?
That gentle, motherly, just go get him, tiger. I imagine that she's probably done this to Vic many times.
I was literally
before.
about to ask, is this something that you think Jenny would have done plenty of times in the past?
It's all she has.
So
Let's be honest.
you feel that like gentle hand on your back, your shoulder blade, a couple of gentle pats before she kind of just drags her hand off of it, and you kind of know what that means. You're muted, Vic. You're muted. Still muted on Zoom.
Does the thing go
Strange.
off?
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. What? I apologize. What is the thing?
So the thing is kind of like the opposite of a miniature vacuum. Essentially, it hits the ground, it's spring loaded, and then just dust.
Ooh. Okay. I like. Does it do any potential like damage at all, or no? Is it just like
no?
okay,
It's really
cool.
just meant to obscure, and Vic's kind of a big target.
Oh yeah.
I want to help out as much as I can there.
No, I love it. So we hear that plastic on plastic as
Sorry,
it
Father.
slides across whatever cheap tile is on the other side. And you can actually hear it catch on one of the divots before the noise stops. His attention is brought down. And as you pat his shoulder blade, and like I said, bring your hand down, you're still kind of feeling the vibrations of the music behind you. You hear a weird springy noise as something snaps free, and then another split second later, it's almost like a as the whole room fills with this dark brown mixed with like this grayish dust and completely fills the immediate vicinity and begins to leak out into the hallway rather quickly, giving some strange coverage. However, he's still, as far as you know, he's still right on the other side of that door. So it's locked by a chain on the other side, but it's not like you haven't done anything like to bust through something like that before.
If this is the go, if I get that pat of go ahead, then
Yep.
I'm going through that door.
Okay, are you just going to ram through it? Strength
Oh,
brawl?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
Do you have any specialties to add to this?
I have 2 specialties. I either have parkour and athletics or Aikido and brawl.
No,
Aikido's about
Aikido.
throwing around weight.
Yeah.
So, maybe.
Well, that's fair. You know what? You can make an argument for that of like knowing how to throw your weight around well. I'll give that to you. I'll give you the +1.
Strength brawl.
Strength brawl.
Okie dokie.
And Father, what are you doing all this as this is all going down? I want to know what you're doing because again, World of Darkness, for those who might be new, initiative kind of happens all at once with priorities, and it's kind of meant to be pretty quick. For successes, you may willpower to reroll 3 of those if you choose to.
Sure. No, I feel like he definitely would. That's very much his style.
And Father, what are you doing? This is all happening at the same time, essentially. Woo! 3 more successes. Woo!
He is preparing himself with his gun ready to follow in behind.
Okay. So as
muttering.
You hear that springy noise and the sound of plastic shrapnel and dust and debris filling the air. Vic takes no hesitation, and we watch as he kind of just takes 1 or 2 steps back. Jenny already well out of the way, and I imagine Ada already kind of hovering near the stairs behind them to follow as needed. We just watch him take 2 very heavy steps forward, and with a large collision, the interior door frame here, the wood crack and splinter as it immediately gives way under some heavy creaking, and you see some wood splinters fly inward as the door flings in and slams up against him pretty quickly. Granted, he's kind of close, so it doesn't get to go too far, but the door is off of its hinges. The last question I have is, while Father's doing that, Ada, Nero, what are you doing with Ada? What's the plan to do with Ada?
As the dust goes off and the door bursts open, I go over through the columns. I go, the last thing I saw was Vic's bare chest, and now I can't see anything because of the dust. I'm gonna just stay in the hallway, okay? And I'm just gonna keep kind of post in the hallway to make sure they don't get attacked from behind.
Flanked.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So we'll count that as round 1. He will not get a response because you caught him completely off guard as a surprise round. Moving into round 2, what is all 4 of yours plans? What are you going to do? The door's off its hinges, and your thing is completely clouding any vision in there beyond like maybe a few inches past the door frame. Does it say how long it would last? I imagine it's like a scene probably, yeah? The cloud of dust or whatever. I'm imagining it's probably like a scene.
It doesn't say. It's at the storyteller's discretion. So
I'm down
you
to just
kind
let
of
it
get to
roll
make
from the
that call.
You know what? Because you said this, Math, is that my drone had like blades on it, 4 blades. Can I float it into the room and use it as a suction to move the dust out?
I mean, it would kick dust. Yeah, if you were to like put it parallel, I mean, your drone. Your drone. I almost said your droid. Your drone isn't huge because it's like a personal drone kind of retrofitted. But you could go in there and like kick dust around, move it, clear, push it inward. Like, yeah, you have the
maybe I'm
or
like
vacuum some of it out.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can see
thinking
you kinda,
vacuum
like,
it
doing
up.
that.
You know how like a fan draws the air like upwards? I like go in and maybe I spin the 4 blades, 2 of them opposite each other, so it kind of hovers and rotates and just like tries to clear the dust upwards so that they can actually see what they're doing now.
Okay, yeah, I like that. We'll get to that rolling in a second. That's because we're gonna do it all at once. So that's what you're gonna do.
Yep.
Father, are you still waiting for like a shot, basically?
Yeah.
Would you sit behind the drone as the drone went in, basically?
His plan is to get inside there and shoot / intimidate whoever comes up against him first.
Okay.
That
Vic?
isn't the guy sprawled out on the floor.
Got it. Vic, what about you? Are you just going to continue on? Do you want to like strength brawl this guy? You're trying to like just start punching
Historically,
this man?
the man at the door is typically your body man. So he realizes that he's going to follow through with momentum and try to get this guy down suppressed. Plus, there's no point in having this meat wall standing while there's gunfire behind him. So it's going to bring it down to the ground as much as he can.
And Jenny, what are you What are you going to be doing on this round?
Having utilized her dust trap, as it were, she'd probably pull her pepper spray out of her fanny pack and literally charge into the room after Vic.
Awesome. All right.
We're using this meat shield to our advantage.
All right, Vic, you're going all in on this guy. Are you trying to pin him or are you just trying to swing?
I'm trying to pin at this point.
Okay, that's a strength brawl because you're trying to grapple the man.
Yarp.
He is straight up trying to swing at you, but he'll be taking a penalty because he can't see shit, which is unfortunate. You want to use a willpower?
No, I'm just hoping that I can manage this level of subdue with him kind of caught off guard. I'm hoping that's enough.
Okay, let's see what I roll. Okay, so we'll just explain this scene before we move forward then. You watch as the door, like I said, on the inside of the wooden frame cracks, the deadbolt flies forward as you see wooden shrapnel fly into the cloud of dust. But Vic stops for nothing. As the door meets immediate resistance from the body on the other side, Vic is reaching his right arm around and grabbing his soldier and pulling him with the momentum that he has away from the door. There's a few stumbly steps and even a couple of coughs from the both of you as you start to inhale debris, but it doesn't take long for you to put your right foot behind his right foot, and with just a bit of a nudge and throwing your weight into it, you both go tumbling to the ground, but with you in a dominant position as you leverage your whole arm and shoulder into your whole arm and elbow up into his upper shoulder to hold him there, and there's a quiet like as he hits the ground heartily. Next up would be Jenny. As Jenny, you rush in behind him, he disappears into the dust. You can hear a small tussle of bodies as they hit the tiled ground underneath, and you follow in, probably like covering your eyes a little bit with your mace out. Are you gonna what do you want to like jump on this one guy and like spray this man's eyes? Do you want to try and push further in? What's Jenny's plan?
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys know, Jenny's not much of a fighter. So
go figure. No way.
But she does remember why they were sent here. And as much as Vic and the father really like to beat people up, that's not really her thing. So I think she would kind of go in with the mace in front of her, like prepared, but she's going to search for whatever it is that they came here for.
So this apartment is laid out like all the others. The room you're entering in is sort of a living room, kitchen area combined, and that's the room that's mostly covered. It gives way to a small hallway that will lead to a small bathroom and one bedroom. Do you want to like kind of move out of this room and head to the bathroom or bedroom, or are you looking to try and like clear some dust and like look around in the living room / kitchen area first?
Do I hear anything coming from the bedroom?
Give me a wits awareness.
I don't like it when storytellers say that. 3 with a crit.
You absolutely hear what sounds like the bedroom, some door on the other side, either bedroom or bathroom. It sounds like it's unlocking or locking. You can definitely hear a locking mechanism being played with down the hall.
Then I'll kind of flatten myself against the wall. I imagine this is sort of a little hallway area.
Oh yeah, tiny little hallway. Yep.
I'll flatten myself against the wall right beside it, so whenever that whatever or whoever it is runs out, I can just go down towards.
So in this round, you'll simply hear the door clearly unlocking by the end of the round, and you hear it begin to open, which leaves the drone or father next. Father, do you wait for the drone? Basically, is I guess the question.
No.
Okay.
No, absolutely not. Drone isn't a person.
Father, you move in, I imagine, right behind then Jenny as she disappears into the cloud of debris. And as you move in, wits awareness, you can hear the tussling on the ground, but you can't see it. Wits awareness to get a good idea as to where the bodies are. You could even try and wave away some of the smoke in the process.
Yeah, he's going to try and avoid that tussle because he doesn't want to shoot Vic or something stupid. But he's going to try and check if there's anyone else. That is 3.
A wits awareness, you hear the same exact thing that Jenny heard, what sounds like a lock being messed with down what is a essentially tiny hallway. Rounding the corner. As you can even see, you can see Jenny's silhouette pinned up against the corner of the hall where the sound is coming from.
Okay, I take and pin myself up against the door on the other side.
They would see you as soon as the door opened. Oh, no. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Gotcha. So you pin yourself up. You look at Jenny bringing the pistol up, and you two hear the door finishing unlocking.
I give him like a really obvious like wink, like
wink.
Last but not least, Nero with Ada.
Yep.
You bring the drone in. Do you want to? Are you looking to clear and start sucking some dust out of the living room?
Yeah, or just like up, away to some degree.
Up to the root, to the ceiling. So this thing flies in. Can I get a? I think it'll be better for you to use your edge ability of a flat 5 here because it's impossible to see. And you're going to take some penalties to not bump into whatever furnishings may or may not be around.
Yeah.
Where a flat 5 will just be better than the
Great.
4 or 3 I'm probably going to put you at.
Then we'll do that.
It'll be way easier once you clear out some dust. That is 2 successes. You can reroll 3 of those if you choose with willpower.
Yeah, this seems important. We're actually in the heat of it now, so.
Yep.
Another
success. 3. As you move in, Vic, you'll be the one to hear the blades obviously first and most clearly. And immediately as you bring your drone in, you flip some of the fans to go reverse, you tilt it at an angle, and the dust begins to get pulled upward, right up. And you can immediately see on your camera what looks like feet kicking around amongst other feet as the pinning situation becomes clear. Next round. The 2 of you are waiting, obviously, for whatever to come out. They'll be coming out in a second. We're going to start with Vic. Vic, you've got this guy pinned to the ground. He's fighting, obviously.
I'm just going to maintain that hold, try to wrap up his mouth so he can't say anything, and put my back to the ground with him to my chest. So it's kind of like I'm holding his mouth so he can't speak. But if someone's going to come
underneath him, but holding him down.
Yeah,
like
if someone's going to come out the door and like start firing, I'm going to use his body as a shield.
I love it. Okay. You're welcome. Obviously, your Aikido specialty plays into this role because it's still considered grapple, strength brawl.
You got it. Easy peasy.
Good
7
God.
Successes.
You could re-roll that as 3 more.
I'm good. I think 7's
yeah. I'm going to roll. He gets a roll. We'll see if he's able to hold up. I need to crit. I do not crit, so it does not matter. As you are able to maneuver your limbs into the proper position and with one hoist, be able to roll him over, hands over mouth, arms in the like kind of armbar position with your legs wrapped around his, and as he struggles extremely difficultly. Ada, I imagine, is going to continue clearing the room as the visual becomes very clear now. You can see Vic is dominating the grapple. And down the hall, because the camera swoops down, the tile gives way to dirty rug in the hallway, and it turns the corner, keeping a shot where we can see the 2 of them up against the wall. But as the door swings open, we see, unlike this man, who was kind of gruff and rather haggard looking, he wears a clearly ironed kind of, what do you call it, collared shirt of a dark blue, and he wears clean pressed jeans, but he has bare feet as he comes out, you guys can't see it, but the viewers can, him holding a pistol. But you can hear footsteps that are approaching. You have this round to act to surprise him until he turns the corner and is, sees the 2 of you there. If you wanted to try and jump him, what do the 2 of you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump out and point my pistol at his head and tell him, "Do not move in the name of the Lord. I will free you from this demon."
You are welcome to roll me a manipulation or intimidate. I'm assuming you're trying to intimidate.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, okay. Give me your manipulation intimidation.
Would he get a bonus to that if I kick out the guy's knee from the side?
You're welcome to make me. Yeah, he would get a bonus if you were able to successfully kick out his knee. Feel free.
I do need a bonus for that.
What would you like me to roll?
I think for this, a dex brawl would be more appropriate.
That's great. I'm good at both of those things.
Wait, you're good at brawling?
Look, I'm a divorcee.
Fair enough.
Listen. Oh, fuck, that's good. 1, 2,
Tell me
3,
how
4,
many
5,
successes?
6,
Because
8.
you're only getting 1 defense because he's being surprised.
What kneecap?
6? Yeah, what? So, because he's not expecting this mom-like creature to crawl out from the hall in her.
It's my cryptid name.
Yeah. In her well-worn Nike mom sneakers and jeans, we see a foot fly out.
They're kids.
Sorry, that makes way more sense. Of course, they're kids. You see this leg fly out and kick out the back of their knee as it gets turned inward, and he falls down to a knee. So you will take a +1 bonus to this intimidation check.
Okay, good. Because I've got 3 dice. And I mean, You know what I'm going to do if he isn't scared, right?
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens first.
That's two successes.
You can re-roll 2 of those with a willpower.
I shouldn't I?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm just
Another.
That
is a 3rd success.
Okay. You see him. So you say, remind me what you said. I apologize.
I put the gun to his head and I say, in the name of the Lord, drop that pistol or I will free you of this demon.
His pistol, you watch his hands immediately go loose and got brought up as the pistol clatters to the ground by his side. He says no words as the barrel of the gun is forcefully pressed into his forehead, leaving a red mark as you press it in. The next step then is that's the end of the round.
The drone. I was gonna say, I imagine
so
if I'm watching,
drone is gonna keep
the
whipping
drone's in
sand
the
up
air
unless-
and it's moving, but I can see them now, right? So if you were to cut back to the van, you can see
after this
Nero
round, you have a clear shot.
sipping coffee, going, oh, as he's taken out, like, damn, like all
is
by
that
yourself.
coming out of the microphone of the drone?
Yeah, I imagine like, yo, that was so dope.
She didn't mute her mic.
You better do what he says. Like I'm just there as like chatter commentary because I'm sitting in the safety of the van out front.
I love it. All right, so we go to the top of the round. Would be round 3 of combat. What are you doing with your 2? Well, we'll start with Vic. What are you going to do with him?
Does the situation seem diffused at the moment? Is it de-escalated or?
I mean, it is hard to tell. It's very hard to tell. You can't really see past the cloud. You heard some scuffling, and you heard Father's voice saying something, but it was hard to hear over the of the drone. So you don't know. He's certainly pinned. You have him. But
Okay.
he's still feeling like he's fighting. He has
Can I
not.
hold? Can I hold this action until I find out what the others are kind of like calling the shot
Well,
on?
you still need to make an opposed strength brawl because
Yeah,
he's
I'll do
still
that.
fighting, and he's
I'll do
going to
that.
try and break out.
Strength.
I finally rolled well. Let's see how it happens.
Wow.
It took me a while. Would you like to re-roll 3 of those?
Well, I mean, after you told me that you rolled
I
well,
know I
of course
should have fucking
would.
kept my damn mouth shut.
Okay.
I'll take 4 successes.
Before we go to that, what about the other 2? Father, you have this man at gunpoint. You can put a bullet in him and end him right now. What do you? And Jenny, you're obviously watching right next to him. Yeah,
You go. I don't know.
Jenny, sure. What are you gonna do?
Jenny is so excited because this went much better than most of their other plans tend to. So she's just going to kind of just like, good job, everybody. And sort of round the corner and head back towards the bedroom.
Okay, so you see her disappear into the dust. That's clearly clearing out. You can see silhouettes between the dust clouds at this point.
There's
Which
still
leaves
someone
Father.
back there. I'm about to die.
Which is up to, so are you going to the bedroom? I'm sorry. Are you passing by?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
trying
cool.
to just like...
You're making your way to the bedroom. Totally
Yeah.
fine. You get to the doorway and are going to pass through it on this round, which leaves Josh with Father McGinnis. What are you going to do with this man at gunpoint? You're holding him here?
I'm going to hold him and I'm going to pick up the gun that he had.
Okay, absolutely. You're welcome to pick up the gun. I need to check something really quickly. You and we'll get to what Bub did here in a minute. And what about Neuro? What are you going to do with your drone on this round?
From here, I can now see. So I know we were told that we are looking for something, but we would know it when we see it. From here to the bathroom, do I see anything past this guy that the father is holding at
Looking
gunpoint?
into the bathroom, like going down the hall toward the bathroom. As you peer, we can say get to the bathroom at this point and look through the door. And beyond that, it's beyond it being a functional, if dirty, bathroom with a little less trash and an actual sink attached to the wall. It seems empty.
Great.
You do see Jenny ahead walking into the bedroom.
I would follow Jenny, knowing that
Okay.
she probably needs the most backup.
Cool. So you'll be following her. And I'm sorry, Father, what did you decide to do? And just keep him at gunpoint?
I'm not sure if he's a...
Okay, roll me an
demon.
intelligence resolve, please.
Well, I can actually sense the unnatural, so I'm going to attempt that.
Tell me what that does and
That is,
the cost.
indicates if something supernatural is close.
Okay, sure.
And
It
I
doesn't
just need
specify
to-
what is supernatural, only that something supernatural is close.
Yeah, if
Okay.
there is something supernatural around, I'll be able to sense
This will
it.
take up your round, however.
Yeah, that's okay. It's you decide whether it's difficulty 3 to 5, and depending on how
It would be
tricky it
difficulty 3 for you here.
cool, and that is wits occult. Yeah, and as I do this, I hold a small crucifix, which seems to have like a shard of bone attached to it.
Ooh.
I got 4
Perfect.
successes.
You
Is there
absolutely, as you
something-
sit there for a moment, leaving the pistol gently pressed into his forehead, indenting his skin, you kind of close off your worldly senses for a moment and open up yourself to God's grace and his guidance. It's almost as though when you do this, you hear his own hand, or you hear his own words and feel his warm hand guiding your attention. And you actually pick up what would be considered relatively powerful, perhaps multiple supernatural presences around you, but you obviously cannot pick up as to where. Only that God seems to confirm your suspicions. And may I please get that other roll from you, please?
What was that?
Oh yeah, that was I'll remind you here, an intelligence resolve.
Okay. That hasn't come through. Oh, that was 3.
Do you want to use willpower or no? That's the
Oh
last
no.
question. Okay, I'm just asking. Would you like to?
That's not a good. No, I don't.
Okay. As you look around and as you open your eyes and your senses come back to the mortal world, away from God's grace, and you feel his presence slip from you once again, your eyes lock back with your target. As he looks to you, he simply says to you with a very pained and sweat beginning to bead down his face, look, put the gun down and go pray at your church. It's better that way for you. And you have an unreasonable amount of an unreasonable urge to head back to your church and pray. And you watch as a little bit of blood seems to seep from his nose as he issues those commands. But there is no decision here for Father McGinnis. His word is as good as God's.
I guess in that case, you're saying I do what he says?
I'm saying he used mesmerize on you at the cost of his own health.
Ooh.
And you did not beat his roll.
I did not. In that case, I set the guns down and I just say, I will be back for you, demon, as I start to walk out.
The only one who's going to get a shot at catching this is Vic. Vic, you may make me a wits awareness roll, but you are also currently tied up this is a free roll, obviously, because I got to go to the ramifications of your roll as well.
Of course. I'm okay with that. I got 1.
You see, for a moment, it seems like Father walks by you. It's hard to tell because as you catch a glimpse of this figure walking by, that was enough of a distraction for this guy to loosen his grip a bit and free himself from the grapple. He doesn't dominate the grapple, but he does free himself from the grapple, immediately ready to square up and fight. Next round, Jenny and Ada / Nero. As you pass through the bedroom door, you may make me a wits awareness or a wits investigation if you choose to spend a little bit more time here. Your choices, ladies.
I was watching. Well, I guess I'll make the wits awareness, I guess. But I was kind of watching her back. So, would the drone have noticed the father drop the weapons as I was?
I would say you probably did not catch that moment, but as you turn back around and kind of look around, you might notice that they are missing at some point. But I kind of, if you were following her in, I imagine you followed her into the room,
Right,
into the
into the
bedroom
room.
as
Okay.
they passed through. Would you roll, Jenny?
I rolled
2?
a 3.
3? Does anybody want to use willpower?
No, not for this one. I'll just take my 3.
The both of
I
you.
feel
then.
baited.
I will always ask, even if it's not needed. I'll try to remember anyway. As the two of you walk into this room, you're greeted with a simple mattress shoved into the corner, though not nearly as dirty as one would expect a bare mattress sitting in a room in this kind of apartment to be. A wooden, well, that's just a wooden drawer without a dresser to go in, sat nearby with a few meaningless things thrown in, including what seems to be a magazine of ammo leaned up against the kind of just plain drawer shoved into the other corner of the room. The walls are painted white with the paint chipping, revealing like a dull beige paint even behind that. You can see plenty of bubbles in the paint. But the thing that sticks out to you is what lies on that bare mattress beyond the two straggled pillows. There's a small metallic tin, I guess you would call it, bare of any notification or bare of any symbols or any words written on it, but the top is flipped open. And as the two of you move over, the hovering of the drone over your shoulder, and even Jenny, as you look in, you see 2 rings on the inside. Though to see what the rings are of, you would need to reach in and pick them up. They certainly look like, at least from where you're at, extremely valuable if they're actually gold and silver as they look. They're well taken care of, cleaner than anything in this apartment, and sit plainly in this very empty metal, this empty tin.
Nero comes through the walkie-talkie. It's like, shiny.
Is this the thing we're supposed to get, you think?
It's the shiniest thing here. I would say so. Don't touch them. Take the whole box.
No. I was gonna see if your robot could pick them up, and then I can just open the window for you if you want to take them out that way.
Okay, I imagine.
Does your drone have gravity hands?
It probably doesn't. I imagine this is what I've rigged up, y'all.
Look,
Do you remember
I can tape
I was gonna say, you could
fireworks to an RC car.
I guess
duct tape the rings.
Well, wait.
to the
I may
box?
have. So I'm thinking like a small thing drops down. It doesn't have arms, nothing to pick it up, but you can put things in it. You know those old bank teller, those round bank teller, the cylindrical ones that you put stuff in, and they used to like down.
Tubes?
The tubes. It's one of those, but
They
just
still do that. I hate to break it to you.
Well, I don't put money in that way anymore. But I imagine it's one of those that just kind of drops down out of the bottom of it, so you could like put things in it, and then it closes back up.
And with that, I see Jenny. Imagine Jenny walks over to the only window, unlocks it, slides it open, and with this tin now on the inside, flies out the window and makes its way down to the van, leaving Jenny alone in the bedroom to make her way out, I imagine.
For good measure, I'm going to pick up that magazine and just sort of toss it out the window.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Out the window it goes.
Um,
As you make your way out, because we're done with the combat, I want to kind of wrap things to a close because we are in a bit of a time crunch in this moment. Jenny, as you make your way out, you notice Father is missing, and so is whoever he had at gunpoint, as well as the gun, both of them that were on the ground. But the dust is mostly clear as you walk into the kitchen area, and there is Vic and the guy he was pinning, both scrambling to their feet, getting ready to fight again as it's clear he broke out. Final round, we'll do one last roll. What is your intention with this man? To kill or to kidnap? Because this man's looking to fight. We're on the 4th floor.
On the 4th floor. All right. Can I throw him out the window?
You could like, you'd have to like ram him into the wind, into the tackle him.
Can I open the window for him too?
Absolutely. It makes it way less difficult because you won't have to bust through glass. You will just
I'm nothing if not a supportive.
I love it.
And
you know what? As the window busts, the drone leaves with the items. I'm going to go ahead and go straight out the window back to the car versus like all the way down. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a final strength brawl.
Yeah. Or
I will make my final one as well.
What? It's the same. I was gonna say what it meant. No, I think you're right. It's probably strength brawl in this case.
Yeah, especially for this.
Extra die. Even if that means that I'm going out with him, because quick reflex, I can recover, or at least attempt to.
Oh God, that's so good. Do you want to re-roll 3 of those?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Good God, every single one was a success. And so, as you stand up and this guy's ready to fight you, realizing that there's some of your own cellmates are currently missing. There's just this look in both of your eyes. You lock in, and we pull away, seeing a profile shot of the two of you running at each other. And just as you're about to collide, we hard cut to the side of the building. We see glass. No, we don't see glass. We just see the side window slide open. And out that open window careens a familiar body as there's a bit of screaming He launches past the fire escape, and you just watch him plummet down 4 floors. And with a deafening thud, a man goes silent and is not moving whatsoever. As the camera follows the body down, it'll kind of come out of the alleyway toward the van as the van door slides open. And there Nero is retrieving her drone. And as you're retrieving the drone, you're watching Father McGinnis walk out the front door and begins to walk away.
Father?
As you call
I must
for
go
Father,
and pray.
Yeah, but we can do that in the van. Where are you going?
the front door opens at this moment, and out Vic and Jenny kind of hustle, both looking, and you see Nero shouting for Father as he walks down the sidewalk away from all of you.
Did I miss something? Grab the priest!
I'll go and just kind of like grab him by the collar
Sure.
and start to try and pull him back.
And we'll even say, as Jenny kind of pulls him and gives him a fight, and is like, come on, like, we gotta go. It will eventually snap Father McGinnis out of it. You realize what just happened very clearly. And but the van's already running. You see Nero kind of stepping back into the van, and Vic also stepping into the van as she's like, we have to go, hurry.
I'm gonna
seduced.
Even if I have to like strap him to the roof, I'm gonna grab that guy that I threw out the window.
I'm gonna need I won't take a strength brawl, but I will need a dex stealth to see if anybody catches you walking a body over your shoulder onto the sidewalk into a car.
Oh yeah, no, it's perfect. I'm still wearing a luchador mask. What's the worst?
I mean, yeah, a luchador walked into a plain white van. Very weird. Give me that dex stealth roll.
Sure, you got it.
Jenny's probably trying to sort of talk down Father McGinnis and see if he's like upset or like if something happened. And she's like, what happened? Did you get upset? Did something?
He told me to leave.
It's
Oh,
something
well, you can't take that personally.
No. I heard the words of God and I had to obey, but it was the devil.
I don't think that was God, sweetheart. Well, why don't you get in the van and we'll get you some tea and maybe talk it through.
As
like that.
As somebody that has been controlled before by a kindred, by a vampire or a monster, what do I get the vibe that that's what's going on here?
You all would absolutely be familiar. You wouldn't know exactly what happened, other than the fact that, blank bodies have a tendency of being, some of them have a tendency of being able to command. So it might have been a full-on blank body, but could have been any of their other servants or anything else that has the ability to command. But I imagine in some degree, all four of you have dealt with something similar that's kind of muddled the brain and made you do things that you wouldn't normally have done. So definitely, Nero, this would be familiar for you.
Okay.
Certainly.
So Nero goes, you know what, Father? We're actually going back to the church.
I will go and pray on my sins there. Yes.
Right. Yeah, just
As the
stop
last of you
here.
As the last of you pile into the white van and the door rolls closed, the engine already running and begins to peel off, we sit inside the van for a moment. The drone shuts down, and as the payload is ejected, the tin holder itself kind of tumbles forward and spills out the two rings. The camera zooms in and follows them as they hit the ground, and they land on each side. And as we swing to see the front of them, the visuals are plain as day. One is a very elaborate skull with human teeth fully intact, no fangs, with a vine wrapped around the inside of its right eye socket. And the other is simply can I get a, from any of you, I guess it would be wit streetwise.
Oh. I can definitely make that. Hang on. Okay.
1 success, 2 successes. Anybody else want to make that roll? No roll. What about you, Jenny? You want to make that roll or nah? Wit street rise your thing?
I might
2, got it. Okay.
I might re-roll. I'm going to
Is
do
that what
some
we were
I mean,
after?
it's definitely not. Don't get me wrong.
I mean,
Okay, that's better. I got a 4 now. I'd use some willpower for that one. This is, if I know
So
anything,
4
it's the
total?
streets. Yeah.
So what you see on the second ring is something you've seen occasionally, Nero, in your files when you've been moving around money for particular sects or other street level crime bosses, just to poke around. It's an elaborate, almost Celtic looking G that is surrounded by fancy swirls and designs, surrounded by a square. And as the camera lingers on that and the van pulls forward, we're pulled out the back window, once again return to street level, and watch as the van becomes small and eventually no longer within our vision. And in that moment, the screen goes to black. And we'll see you next week with the next episode of Desperate Measures, a Hunter V5 campaign.
Hot dog.
Yay! First episode.
We did it.
Yay!
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
I hope everybody enjoyed that in stream. That was fun to stream. It's been a while since I've been able to do that. That was a good time. Some of you may know what that is. Some of you may not know what that is. Depends on how deep in your vampiric lore you know and how deep you know clans, but you'll learn all in due time. All in due time. I know we've got, we're on a time crunch, so I imagine we'll go around one more time, kind of let people know where you can find each other. And again, we're going to Gen Con, everybody. If you want to support us going to Gen Con, we have a Ko-fi link that is easy for you to click on. And it's just, we got to get Josh across the pond, and I'd like to not put him in a crate. So
I'm very heavy.
Make that happen. If we can make that happen.
Okay, we're putting him in a crate.
Yeah. We'll start with Diana. Diana, where can people find you? What do you do?
Yeah. So hi everybody. I'm Diana DiMacco. First of all, thanks to all of you for having me here. This was so much fun. I'm so excited about this game now.
Yeah.
You can find me over on Play Renegade on Wednesday nights. We're finishing up our own Hunter Chronicle over there. We have 2 episodes left. Our finale is the 22nd. And then right after that, we pick up for season 2 of The Nightlife. So we'll be dropping back in on our Kindred. Season 1 ended with a double diablerie. So there's things that need resolving there. Other than that, just follow me on Twitter. That's where I post everything. I'm sorry for everything you have to read if you follow me there already. It's a mess.
It's fine. Bob, what about you? Where can people find you?
All over the internet. I'm Bub. You can find me at twitch.tv/Bub Talks. Bub Talks everywhere. I'm just out here pretending to be people I'm not, making voices loud, and hopefully you guys like it. I hope that you liked Vic TD Papadopoulos and the mess that he is. Come check us out all over the place, guys.
And Josh /Father McGinnis.
I enjoyed the little the father coming out of your mouth there.
I know,
it was very,
right?
very fun. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
You can find me GamingFTL basically everywhere on the internet, unless you want vampire stuff, in which case probably here, but also Strange Adventures on YouTube. I do all sorts of vampire roleplay review stuff. I've actually got a Hunter 5th edition review up on made a video of it. So yeah, if you want to learn more about it, go there. But otherwise, I'm just excited for the next episode.
Me too. And last but not least, the one that holds the whole thing together, the backbone of the show, Dot.
Hi, friends. You know me. I'm Little Red Dot out there doing my thing. You can find me where Little Red Dots are found. Gen Con, some very exciting things. We had a lot of questions in chat, and I imagine we'll have some with the edited podcast as well about these characters and this new book. So we're going to get those character sheets out to you over on Patreon. So another reason to go join the fun.
Yeah, and that's it for us. You can find me anywhere as Mathis, particularly Illuminati podcast is my big thing. Feel free to go find me there. That's it for us, guys. We'll be back next week here on twitch.tv/podbynight for more Hunter. I'm super excited. The week after, whenever it's scheduled to be, we'll figure it out. Regardless, we'll be back soon. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.